One of our favorite hikes is the ancient Inca Trail in Peru, and it's one of the most incredible experiences. Since the beginning, hiking and physical activity has been a big part of our adventures. I had the opportunity to actually experience the Inca Trail. I have always wanted to go to Peru. I've always wanted to see Machu Picchu. I have never hiked before, so that makes it interesting.
Of course, when you're coming into Peru, you have to start in Lima. It's the big airport hub, the big city of the country.
So Lima's on the west coast, and from the cliffs, the views are incredible. So we started off with a walking tour of historic Lima, and it was an interesting mix of culture, historic as well as modern.
It's got this cliffside area that they call the Malecon. It's really nice to walk up and down the green space. Being on the west coast, the sunsets on the ocean are on another level. It's a fun spot to visit, and it has one of the best food scenes in the world.
We had a great welcome dinner, and then the next day we headed off to Cusco.
Everyone always really loves Cusco. It's a small, beautiful city that's literally going to take your breath away at 11,300 feet. It was the heart of the Inca Empire.
They had these old traditional buildings. There's a marketplace, which was fascinating. When you're walking through, you have the traditional marketplace things, but then you see some of the, let's say, the butchery that they have for their animals, and they show everything. But it is a great experience.
Cusco is one of those towns people don't really expect they're going to fall in love with, but they always do.
At one point, we got to visit the traditional farming village.
So much of their culture is still intact over thousands of years. They have a special dance that they show us.
They bring you into their village. You experience one of their traditional dances. You may have to participate in one of their traditional dances, which is also fun.
We of course get to visit some llamas and alpacas. Some of them are really cute. If you feed them, they might spit on you, so watch out, but it's all in good fun.
We also learned some of their language, which was not always easy, but they were very gracious about our pronunciations. And it was just a really nice way to experience their culture.
The textiles in the Sacred Valley, they're really so iconic, they're so colorful, they have these beautiful patterns. It's something that's been passed down after generation. We of course get to do a little fashion show. It's something if you put on or if you see it, it's so distinctive and you're gonna know that it's from Peru.
So at this point, we have a group briefing before we hit the Inca Trail. And what the guides do is that they give us a brief outline as to what we are going to experience. After that, we start our hike. We get to the first part of the Inca Trail where we meet our porters. There's actually a very large support team that we have. The porters carry everything, and they go ahead of time to set up all the tents and set up the food for when we arrive, and they continually do this throughout the trek. We start there and we start the first part of our hike.
That's better. Oh, finally.
So as we're hiking along, you experience a lot of different things.
Hola.
The trail itself was really interesting. There's only one trail. It's wide enough to hike, but then you look over and there's this kind of a big drop-off. So you're like always careful of knowing where that drop-off is. And then as you're going along, you're also going through caves and things that are naturally there, and you're hiking through them. And as you're going along, you're thinking, I wonder how many people have hiked this and how old this is. As you're hiking, and I didn't know that this was actually going to happen, there was actually a group of llamas that were walking towards us, and it was really interesting because we were face to face with these llamas. They walked right by us, they're completely friendly, and as they're walking by, I may have taken a selfie or two, which I sent to my husband. So the trails are actually not maintained by the government, it's actually maintained by the llamas. They eat a lot of the overgrowth along the trail, which keeps everything well managed. Thanks, llamas!
Guys, we have the...
The support team is amazing. They basically have everything set up for you.
No, uno por un lado, pasará a uno más. Sí, mejor.
As we're hiking along, we are accompanied by our guides. Not only are they helping us along the hike itself, we also do stops along the way, and we're learning a little bit more about the Inca Trail and the Inca culture. They also give us insights on the fauna and what we're seeing that is around us, and even things like Dead Woman's Pass, where the history of Dead Woman's Pass and why it's called Dead Woman's Pass, which I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to find out for yourself. On the last day of our hike, we actually reached the Sun Gate. And at that point, everybody is a little bit exhausted, but really excited to see Machu Picchu for the first time. And that's when, in my case, where the clouds cleared and you see Machu Picchu, you have an emotional experience. And then everybody's high-fiving and everybody's hugging because we actually made it to the Sun Gate.
Stop at it. There you go.
Again, I'm not a hiker, so doing this was challenging but really rewarding.
For a lot of people, Machu Picchu is a bucket list destination, and it's one of those places that really does live up to the hype.
Sometimes I don't know how to explain it to my friends. You see pictures, but it doesn't really do it justice. You're seeing the site itself, one of the wonders of the world, and you're like, I finally made it. Also, having done the Inca Trail, you feel like this is such a huge accomplishment.
When we walk into Machu Picchu, it's just like, wow, people's jaws drop. There actually isn't that much information about Machu Picchu, so there's lots of theories. We learn about what researchers think about why this site was built, why was it built in such a remote place.
You kind of wonder how they get these giant rocks up to this area and how they put everything together.
It really is a site that is just as much mysterious as it is beautiful.
As we're walking into Machu Picchu, it was interesting to look around to see how our group was experiencing it. Everybody was smiling. Everybody was taking photos and just taking everything in because it was something that they accomplished. So after Machu Picchu, we're not hiking back. We're not taking another 4 days to go back. We're gonna take the train back.
The interior of the 360-degree train is nothing but windows, and it provides these incredible panoramic views.
Everywhere you look, it's just gonna be stunning, stunning views as you're going along, getting back to Cusco.
You're along a river valley, and you can see the mountains rising up along either side. It's spectacular.
So the train is actually fun because you're gonna get some entertainment, some traditional music. You get to see the views as you're heading back into Cusco to the hotel where you're gonna have a 1-hour shower. The Inca Trail is one of our most popular hikes, and because of that, there's only a certain amount of permits that are sold per day, which means you have to book way ahead of time because the permits will sell out.
Peru is a lot of people's first time without adventures, and it's a really great introduction to what we offer.
If this is your first out adventure, it's definitely not going to be your last.
At Out Adventures, we love to show people the world.
We offer trips for LGBTQ+ travelers. The experiences can range from super active, like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, to relaxing on the Adriatic on a beautiful yacht.
Bringing people together, seeing the camaraderie that builds from the first day when people are a little bit nervous to the end of the trip when you feel like a family.
We call it the Out Adventures family, and it really does feel like that.
We get to really take that time to get to know our clients on the trip so that we can make the experience as special as possible.